Hello everyone, it is your fellow metalhead and music enthusiast here, Andrew Gabriel, and today I'm going to be going over a different subject today. Before we get to that, we just want to say that I'm doing another video tonight. This will be another interview. Will be with Carl from or as you may know him as Necro Lord. Is it? No, Lord Necron, I should say, because that's his actual name. And yeah, but I showed a little bit of these like CDs or records in my Buff Metal Justin interview or whatever, and yeah, it's just to me like punk and shit like that because I really like punk for whatever reason. I just think a lot of it's pretty good. It's good, great for the energy, and that's most of the appeal. And some people just kind of don't get that, and they're just like, "What about my interesting musicianship? And what about my technicality and all that?" And it's just like it's fucking punk rock. You're supposed to like it because of the just like anger and like I guess message almost because it does have like a lot of messages in it, like particularly political ones. Either that or just like it's just supposed to be fun. Like you don't hear TV Party and be like man, I wish the guitarist was doing more arpeggios and more sweep picks. You don't fucking do that in fucking punk rock. Definitely not. But yeah. I'm gonna go over my 7 inches first. I showed this before, but Fuck Nazi Sympathy by Rotten. This is probably my favorite punk rock band of all time. Dude, everything about this goddamn band is just fucking amazing. It's obviously crusty punk or whatever. And before I continue, I should say that yeah, I'm not gonna include any grinder shit like that because to me, even if like grind is inherently punk rock in a way, to me, this is like a video exclusively about punk rock, and grind to me is in like a separate category to punk because it's more metal, and that goes for metalcore and grind in general, as I've said before, or like even like non-metal genres like goth rock, which is supposedly a subgenre of post-punk, which I do have some of that in my collection. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, every song on here is just like fucking a bop and all that. Uh, Obviously they're a very anarchist band, as you could see by that as well, and also these symbols. You know, this is one of the albums that actually made me realize that I lean more to the left than anything. It was that Napalm Deaths from Napalm Deaths from Enslavement to Obliteration, and Brutal Truth's Extreme Conditions Demand an Extreme Response, and it kind of just built my worldview overall around things. And with this, you just get again, it's the power chords that really get me going. It's the power chords that really get me going, and all the riffs and all that. So there's that, and here's my other 7 inch. This is if you don't know this, then I don't know what to tell you. DRI's Dirty Rotten EP, and the first time I heard this was like fucking wow. It was just like frantic, unrelenting, and just like the thing I like about this the most is actually like the kind of off kilter like melodic soloing in between songs, and with that you just get you know some of the most unhinged sounding songs, even if they are very short. Some people would say they prefer dealing with it, but this is the best DRI release to me. So there's that, and there's another band that I'll show up that's kind of I guess not necessarily similar, but DRI you could definitely tell that they took influence from. Uh, and also if you like DRI, check out RKL, Rich Kids on LSD. That's what the band name stands for. And this is obviously probably my favorite punk album of all time. and you can see it for the camera right now. Welcome On Us by the Misfits. And the thing I like the most about this record is obviously the melody, Glenn Danzig's voice. You know, Glenn Danzig is probably my favorite non-metal singer of all time. He just he's got the soul, he's got the almost like bluesy kind of shit to him. But it's also like, you know, you get songs like, you know, let me look at this for a minute again. You get songs like 20 Eyes, I Turn Into a Martian, All Halls Breaks Loose. I'm basically naming the first side of this. Uh Skulls, and even like shit that's not on this album, like Die Die My Darling and Teenagers from Mars, which is just like very catchy punk rock versions of shit like the Beatles or like the Beach Boys, because punk to me is inherently poppy, whether you like it or not. It has the standard verse, chorus, verse, bridge, and then verse again, and then the chorus for one final time, kind of like structure of like all songs in popular music or whatever. And so that appeals to me because it's very straightforward and gets to the point of it. And again, just like if you don't like the Misfits, what are you doing? And also, hold on, let me pick this up again. That right there, that's fucking Misfits, not this fucking Michael Graves shit, which just sounds like it just sounds like fucking Green Day with like black nail polish. And I love Green Day, but goddamn, they're not the Misfits. Also, next thing, Suicidal Tendencies, their first album, and for a while I went around thinking that this was the one thing that like I liked by them, but I like other stuff by them. Join the Army and How I Will I Laugh Today. You know, that's a long fucking title, but like basically like their third album. I like those a lot, but this one is just like fucking important to me, like vital to like my taste in punk. You know, shit like, of course, you know, Suicide's an Alternative, You'll Be Sorry, and Subliminal, and of course the fucking classic, Institutionalized. You know, I Saw Your Mommy, Fascist Pig, Suicidal Failure, which I'm not gonna get into that story, but yeah, it's this album's just fucking. Let's turn. This album's just like very important to like a lot of the creation, like crossover thrash, I guess, along with that DRI album, because it's way more metallic than say Dead Kennedys, who I love, but it's also essentially the founding basis for what more metallic punk would sound like. And even like a bit of, you know, metalcore in a way. Shit like Integrity and what's that fucking band called? It's the one that made Protestant. Yeah, but that band I would have the belief that Integrity and both that band have heard this album and was like, yeah, I kind of it was a development to like their musical journey or whatever. And so with that, you get, and also with like DRI, you get the frantic soloing and all that. So yeah, that's kind of why I think like, what's that guy's name? It's no disrespect to Rocky George. It's just that I like that person's I like that person's soloing style better than Rocky George. Anyways, we got second CDs here. Adolescence. If you ever heard or ever played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, you should know this. Yeah, and this one has the Welcome to Reality EP on it as well, which I actually didn't know existed until I bought this from I bought this from Revelation Records, and goddamn is it fucking banger. Again, it's basically the transitional point between melodic hardcore and skate punk in a way. it was at least influential to it because a lot of these fucking songs they're borderline poppy. But and again with suicidal tendencies in DRI, uh, you get the frantic soloing in some parts and like some of the guitar rhythms or guitar leads are just like insane to me. But also you get shit like, Wrecking Crew, which is just actually it's Word Attack, which is just like a full on blast of like catchiness and just straightforward energy. It's great shit. So if you haven't heard Adolescence, highly recommend it. And I'm gonna group these two together because, fuck's sake, they're basically they share members. So, uh, Fugazi and Minor Threat. Goddamn, these might as well be my favorite punk rock albums of all time because, in terms of at least what I most look for in punk rock, this is just like the best you could get with the energy of punk rock. This is what you could get with the best of like what you can do with punk rock. And goddamn, I might prefer 13 songs a little more, which some people not consider that an album, but it's just like it's basically album length. Yes, it's two EPs kind of combined, but it's full album length, so I could say it's my favorite fucking album by them. But yeah, apparently this is the complete discography by them, which goddamn if you haven't heard the complete Minor Threat discography, what are you doing in punk rock? But goddamn. Uh it's not a very politically correct opinion to say, considering what I've said in this video about my political stance. But I love the song Guilty of Being White. That song is just fucking awesome. It's angry, you know, the parts and like riffs, they're very charismatic as opposed to like all the album's charismatic, but opposed to like the rest of the album, that is like the antithesis of not the antithesis, but like that's the like basis of like what I think punk rock should be in terms of how angry it can get and how just like catchy it can be because that's kind of like the point of punk rock. You don't really look for shit like technicality in punk rock unless you're listening to post hardcore or whatever. But yeah, this album it's probably tied with 13 songs if we are going by the fucking stupid technical terms of like you can't say that that's a compilation sort of shit. But yeah, this was one of the first punk rock CDs I ever owned on you know physical format. And I got this for Christmas one day. I remember that it was just like I remember I got a few Tool CDs and like one Chevelle CD for whatever reason. But when I say that, I guess it's just when I say that, it's basically you know, it's not that I would not listen to Chevelle again. It's just that I would not willingly go out of my way to listen to Chevelle because I mean I like them, but just like there's better stuff out there in my opinion. But yeah, with my favorite song on here is probably honestly the title track. That one's the drum fills, the fucking bass. The rhythm section in general on that album's very good. Not only that, but you have like shit like you know, merchandise and the instrumental Brandom One, which blew my mind as a fucking kid. But anyways, let's go on. Let me actually put these off to the side because I'm gonna bring up two albums again because they're basically in the same scene. A lot of people hate this band, but I don't fucking care. They're the fucking goats of New York hardcore, along with Sick of It All. And dude, I kind of don't get the whole, I guess, gripe with Biohazard, I guess, is because they just like rap and all that. But you gotta understand, with New York hardcore, they were very influenced by shit like hip hop and you know who else is from fucking New York? The Beastie Boys. So that played a crucial role in the hip hop aesthetics of everything, and just their whole aesthetic as a whole. And God, that looks so fucking New York. I just love it. But God, if you there's like songs on here that like if you listen to them and you're not like bang your head back and forth, it's almost like a what the fuck's wrong with you thing because Tears of Blood, Hold My Own, which I know is a bonus track that was basically re-recorded or something like that. You know, Disease, Man of a Promise, and of course, if you don't get down with punishment, goddamn, you should be fucking lobotomized. Not really though. I'm just joking. But to give it all, this is my favorite, or not my favorite. This is actually the first punk rock album that I've heard outside Green Day. And my dad used to own this CD. I think this is just a new copy that like I got off of eBay or whatever. But goddamn, I was blown away by it because it was like faster, it was more aggressive, it was more everything within the grand scheme of punk rock. Whereas Green Day just like very again it's pop punk, so it's very catchy, accessible. You don't have to think a lot when you listen to Green Day. I mean, it's not that you have to think a lot when you listen to Sick of It All, but it gives a lot more than what Green Day has to offer, I would say. And shit like No Cure, Consume, Step Down, Maladjusted, Free Spirit, and Ceasefire. This is like a fucking certified hood classic. And rest in peace, Lou Keller, or whatever. Uh, Not sure what else to say, but yeah, if you haven't heard Sick of It All, or at least this album, this is my favorite one by them. Be sure to check it out. And two more we have. I'm gonna get this one out the way because this last one is actually probably my second favorite punk rock band of all time. Not this one, but this is a Tragedy, and this is more crust punk. And the thing I like about this one is that this is a side project of His Here's Gone, and I need to listen to this again, but I remember listening to the song Crucifier and just being like, wow, that's fucking incredible. And it's D beat oriented, so it's you get the skank beat or whatever, the kind of like sort of like that shit. But it basically not the entire like basis of the album, but it's basically the mostly it. So there was that, and one more we have. This is my second favorite punk rock band of all time. I should have more stuff on their collection or whatever, but you just saw it. Propagandy and what's the song called again? Hots Kin Sea Limits. I think that's how you pronounce it. And speak about a band that's fucking leftist and in your face about it. I mean, I'm not really down with the veganism stuff, but at the same time, it's just like every song on here is just awesome. This is probably one of the best like crossovers between metal and melodic hardcore without explicitly being a crossover thrash record or whatever. But the riffs are just if you want technicality in your riffs when it comes to punk rock, you should listen to this and just like forget about minor threat or whatever. I mean, not everyone can be, I guess, perfect in your music taste, but listen to Propaganda if you want that. Uh, yeah, shit like fixed frequencies, bringer of greater times, rock for sustainable capitalism, and my favorite song, like probably in all of punk rock, Iteration. That song is perfection. And some people will just say, like, well, the first two albums are actually where they took themselves less seriously, and therefore they kind of, went off into a more serious direction and just kind of like became so, like, up its ass or whatever. But there's at least, some, like, heart I hold. There's some place in my heart that I hold for this album, and I highly recommend this if you don't exactly get melodic hardcore, or like skate punk or pop punk in general, but really want the metal riffs. I highly recommend this. Anyways, that was all my why I had the show today. Be sure to look out for that Lord Necron interview tonight. So this is Andrew Gabriel signing off. Stay metal, stay true.